And we are live. Are you already feeling the pressure of the holiday season creeping up on you and wondering how you're going to manage to prepare for the family gathering without breaking your bank, without busting your budget? Well, on tonight's episode of Homemaking with Purpose, Leona Dooley and I will be offering practical tips for your holiday meal prep. Between the two of us, we have over 90 years of homemaking experience.
Woo.
We have made quite a few Thanksgiving dinners and Christmas dinners. And whereas I don't know much about Hanukkah, I do know it's a time where families gather for food and song.
Absolutely.
Yes. So, Miss Leona, I think our holiday prep shows are one of the favorite ones that our viewers like. And it's certainly one of my favorites.
Me too. Me too, Denise. I have been so looking forward to tonight. And just knowing that we were going to be able to get our heads together and share with each other as well as everybody else. Because, we have lots of conversations, just you and I. But it's fun when we can bring everybody else into the conversation and they're able to chit chat with us. So it should be a lot of fun. And, I think our viewers do love it when we're together. We've gotten a lot of good feedback with that. So this is going to be a fun night.
I believe that it will be. So let's go ahead and we'll jump right into it.
Mhm.
And the first thing that I want to talk about, Leona, and you know how important this is because we were talking about this earlier, is about making sure that you have your pantry basics. And as I think about that, I'm thinking I was on your channel the other day and you had a video about pantry basics. So maybe I should find that and link that in the description box below. Let me make myself a note.
Okay. Okay. Well, yes, I did talk about it because it just happened that I was kind of going through the pantry and kind of doing a little straightening up. And I noticed too, because I was going to be going into the grocery store and I was making the grocery list, you know how we do. And
Mm-hmm.
I thought, while I'm looking at Walmart and Kroger to see what they have, because I do a lot of delivery, I thought, well, let me see what they've got going for the holiday, because now is certainly the time to start picking up a lot of those items. And Denise, as recently as today, in fact, I got a note from Walmart actually stating the fact that they have dropped their holiday, the regular holiday items from October 13th through December 25th, so that people's budgets it's a little more budget friendly. But you know what? Then I read another article and I know why, because they've got some competition out there. Aldi's is on it.
That is true because Aldi's had said that they're going to try to get a $47 Thanksgiving holiday meal. And I believe Walmart's is somewhere around $50.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, they definitely have some competition. And we can come back to that in just a minute. But one of
Sure.
the things that I wanted to think about, though, is as we stock up for these holiday times, there's some things that you probably want to try to get early and
Mhm.
just kind of keep as part of your pantry so that when the holiday season comes, you don't have to buy those things from your holiday budget. What say you to that?
Well, I am right with you. But too, some of these items are part of our 20 item capsule, our grocery capsule. When you think about things like our flours and our baking, all of those good things, those are things that we really should have on the shelf all the time. So
Exactly.
that shouldn't be new. But certainly, if you're only down to one bag of all-purpose flour or a bread flour, if you're a bread baker or cake flour or whatever it is, then now's the time while the pricing is a little bit better, now's the
Mhm.
time to start picking up those extra items of those particular things.
That's
And
one of the things that I always see is that leading up to the holiday season, they'll
mhm,
start putting different little things on sale. So it
mhm,
may be spices or canned goods this week. It may be something else the next week. But
mhm,
the other thing is, and I think you were the one that talked about this, was to consider shopping other than where you usually shop to look
mhm,
for some good bargains. I tend to
mhm,
only want to go to one place. Sometimes I might go, like I usually go to Kroger, and
mhm,
sometimes I might go to Walmart if I'm running
mhm,
in there to pick up a couple things. But you were saying how you can get better bargains sometimes when you
mhm.
shop around.
You know, my children today refuse to go grocery shopping with me. Now, let me tell you why. Because when they were little, we'd go to four different grocery stores because
Oh
I
my.
knew who had the best price on milk and eggs. I knew who had the best prices on meat or whatever it was for that week. And I knew who had the best vegetable prices over here. So we went to all those different places on grocery shopping day. Well, by the time they got home, they were exhausted. I was pretty exhausted, but we had everything we needed because I had shopped around in order to do that. And you don't have to do it all in one day, but
Mhm.
certainly don't get locked into one particular grocery store because very often you really miss a good deal by shopping somewhere else. And I think that's probably one reason too why places like most of us usually do Kroger, Publix, whatever,
Mhm.
and now people are starting to kind of branch out and start to say, Aldi's looks pretty good over there.
Well, yeah, they do. One of the things though that I did pick up, and I did get this at Kroger, was I picked up this Pepperidge Farm cornbread stuffing mix, and I actually picked up 2 bags. So I've got one for Thanksgiving, and I have one for Christmas because this
Mhm,
is what I like to start um, my dressing with, and then I'll
mhm,
make my own pan of cornbread and add some
mhm,
things to it. But I really like having that as my base. So I'm
mhm.
really glad that I was able to find those because sometimes when it gets close to the holiday, you can't find what you're looking for.
That's for sure. That's for sure. It's good to see everybody. Boy, they're jumping in.
They
That's wonderful.
are. So Lurker Smurf says that she comparison shops on the apps before she leaves the house. And then she
Ah.
content plans her list. So I think that's exactly what you were talking about.
Mhm, mhm. Hello, Lola, wise woman. Well, yeah, Florence.
Hey, Florence, good to have you with us.
Hello, hello, hello. Oh, good.
People
We
are just
got
jumping in, and we appreciate that. We appreciate that.
absolutely, absolutely.
So Lenny says that she plans her route from home and goes past all the stores on the way back home and shops the sales and have a list. And I think that's so important, Leona.
Mhm. Having the list is key. That's the
Mhm,
key thing that she has said, to have that list. I also mentioned the fact that for those younger cooks or those who are newer in the kitchen who may not quite have the budget that some others may have, that they may want to maybe take $5 or $10 out of each grocery trip and gear it toward a specific item or specific items or those extra items that they might
boom.
need.
Say
Because
that again.
holiday shopping can certainly be expensive. So,
Exactly. So I think when I yelled out my boom, I might have blocked you out. So say that again because I think that's an important tip for people to hear. And
yeah.
then about a little bit about those spices that they should get in because I know you like to do that.
I do. I do. Now is the time to start to take maybe $10. I mean, I do that even myself. I'll take $10, and this week I'm going to spend $10, and that $10 is earmarked strictly for my holiday shopping. So I'm going to pick up some extra items for the holiday shopping. Now, when it's not in the holiday, then I'm looking for those extra pantry items that I might need. But, also now's a good time to pick up, and I'm reaching here in case y'all are wondering, I got my grocery store over here waiting. But anyway, I picked up some extra onion powder because, oh my goodness, we will go through a ton of onion powder, garlic powder. Those are things to start looking for. And those are the extra things that, yes, they're for the holiday. But the good thing is that these are items we will be able to use even after the holiday's over with. So it's not like you're just buying something separate. Now some people only buy things like cranberry sauce. Now, of course, Denise and I like cranberry sauce every day, but which is so funny. I can't believe I didn't think anybody else was like that. I got my can of cranberry sauce, but I keep cranberry sauce in my house, and I even got my I have tons of bags of dried cranberries because I use a lot of that for baking cookies, making muffins. And when you get these little these nice bags, they are usually, and this just happens to be from Aldi's, but this is a nice size bag, whereas you can almost put the bag right in the recipe and it's ready to go. So, and they're not that expensive. So that gives you an opportunity to do that. I also picked up a box of raisins.
Oh, yes.
These are the things we're going to need in our holiday cooking and after, because oatmeal raisin cookies are always on tap. And you may want raisins in your muffins or whatever it is that you're preparing as well. I also picked up a huge bag of chocolate chips because baking essentials like the chocolate chips, the white chocolate chips, the what is the other item? Another kind of chip. They're expensive. Oh my gosh. And so when you pick these up, you want them to last as long as they can. And you want to be able to make sure that you have them on your shelf because right behind New Year's, you got Super Bowl and those kind of things. So it may be that you can use them not only through the holiday, not only through New Year's, but then into Super Bowl and then into the winter to just prepare some fun things for the family.
Absolutely.
So those are great things to have on the shelf. And of course, the typical good old green beans, corn, all those kind of things. I mean, yes, green beans, wonderful to have. Now, these particular green beans, I don't necessarily do them, prepare them with these are the Italian cut, but I do like to do the casserole, the green bean casserole. I love that. And we were laughing earlier. Both of us pulled out our cans of of our French fried onion rings, and we got those ready to go. So it's funny. There are traditional things that all families like, but things like salt, pepper, now's the time to pick those items up, and you will more than likely get them at a better price now. And so pick them up now. If you can pick up 2 rather than 1, that's a good time. Cinnamon, your nutmeg, your
cinnamon sticks.
Absolutely. Cinnamon stick. Oh, yes, cinnamon sticks. Because once a holiday's over with, that price goes up. And you can find them. One of the two. So you want to make sure that you have those in case you want to make some wassail or whatever it is that you want to make during the holiday. So opportunity. One other thing I mentioned, if you don't mind, Denise, for is macaroni.
Oh, yes. I forgot that.
Yeah, catch your elbow macaroni now. And you can put this, get us several boxes. This is a 2-pound box. And sometimes I'll just get the 1 pound, but I decided, no, I get it lasts better if I get a 2 pound box, and I usually get two at a time. And the reason for that is because I know when the kids come, I'm going to need to fix macaroni and cheese and those kind of things, and they're going to eat quite a bit. But for the holiday, I'm going to need all of that 2 pound plus in
Mhm.
order to prepare. So those are things that we want to be able to do, and to have ready now. And
Yeah, those
I
things. Let
don't.
me just
Go
jump
ahead.
into something else too. And
Hmm.
these are refrigerator pantry items, the four
Hmm.
corners pantry, as Mary talks about. And the
Uh-huh.
fridge is one of those
Hmm.
pantries. And butter, if you see butter on sale, because they
Hmm.
will have it on sale again closer to the holidays, but
Hmm.
sometimes they might have it on sale a few weeks out. And with your holiday baking and just cooking, mashed potatoes and different things like
Yes.
that. You're using a lot of butter. You're making your homemade dinner rolls, or you're
Hmm.
buying the Parker House rolls. You're going to need lots of butter with those. So
Hmm.
there's going to be that. So this is going to be the time to stock up on your oils, your fats, which includes your vegetable oil, your olive oil, and then of course
Oh
your butter.
yeah.
And if you buy the butter, you can freeze butter. I don't know if
Hmm.
everyone knew that, but I learned that probably a few years ago because I never
Hmm.
froze butter before, but now I do. When I see butter on sale, I'll pick up some extra cartons of it
Hmm.
and put it in the freezer. So yeah, we
Hmm.
will do that as
Hmm.
well. And then of course, your other spices. So let me just ask for those of you in the chat while while we think about the question that's up on the screen. For
Hmm.
those of you that are in the chat, what items do you keep stocked in your pantry? Tell us in the chat, or if you're on the replay in the comment section, drop us a note and let us know what items do you keep stocked in your pantry.
Hmm.
Inquiring minds want to know. So drop that in there. And while you guys are typing that in, we'll take a look at this question from Vicki from South Carolina. And
Hmm.
she says the longshoremen's strike. What items would you recommend purchasing by the end of this month or the beginning of November at the latest? So now I think, Leona, you already answered this question, but you didn't know you were answering this question when you talked about picking up things that can last you through the Super Bowl and
Hmm.
so on, because the longshoremen's strike, Vicky, is over, not over, is
Done over.
postponed for now.
Hmm.
They're going to pick business back up. They're going to go back to the bargaining table in January. And
Hmm.
if they don't resolve their issues, they're going to go on strike in January. So,
Hmm.
as Miss Leona was telling us about things that we need to pick up, think about what are those things you're going to be needing through the end of January or February, and
Hmm.
then picking up some of those things now. And I think you talked about the candies and the chocolates. If you make special things for Valentine's Day or whatever,
Hmm.
and this year, Hanukkah starts December 26th, so it's
Hmm.
after Christmas. So there may be some things that people need to pick up for that. So if I think you said all these is going to have that sale that lasts until December 25th, and
Yeah.
Hanukkah starts on the
At
20th
Walmart.
at
Hmm.
Walmart, and Hanukkah
Hmm.
starts on the 26th this year.
Hmm.
These people might want to start picking up those items early.
That's true. And whether the longshoremen strike or not, I think it's in our best interest to try to get as much of our necessary supplies in advance.
Mhm.
If nothing else, because we have no control. Number one, we have no control over the weather. We
Right.
don't know what the weather's going to do from day one to day two, and I'm the Girl Scout. We need to be prepared,
Mhm.
and so not to frighten anybody by any means, because I don't know necessarily how the longshoreman strike will hit us. We probably will, if they decide to really go out. We probably will see a little bit of a change in our budgets, but um, I just think it's more prudent for us to make sure that we have our pantry stocked regardless. And these are the things that I'm naming for you are not things, true enough, I'm going to use them for the holiday, but these are things I keep on the shelf all the time to make sure we have the basics. If your family, you prepare chili all the time, you're going to have tomatoes. You're going to have if you put beans in your chili beans, you're going to need your ground beef. Those are things that you can start looking for, getting the best price for, getting them into the pantries, whether it's the freezer or just your regular pantry or your hidden special pantry. But those are things that we just need to make sure that we are being intentional about making sure that we have what we need on our shelves. And, I guess we need to say too, Denise, while we're here, I'm sure some of our families that are here have been impacted, maybe not directly, but they may have family members who have been impacted by the hurricane.
Yes.
It's been absolutely devastating and absolutely awful. And so as we think about that, we also need to think about the fact that preparation is everything.
Mm-hmm.
And, where they didn't have an opportunity to really prepare. And, when you think about, even if they had, with a storm like that, it wouldn't have helped,
Yeah.
it wouldn't have helped. But at the same time, if you have extra on your pantry, your family has to come and stay with you, then that allows you to be able to prepare food, not just for your immediate family, but
Right.
for your extended family as well. So
Exactly.
that allows you to be a blessing to them. So, that's something we really want to do.
Okay, let me just ask too, as we talk about this, and we're talking about buying those specialty ingredients for specific holidays or
Mhm.
trying to be prepared well in advance. I think there are some things that we want to think about, and you kind of showed a few of the things that you've already gotten in place to prepare for the holiday. But start thinking about, well, what is it that I do need to have in for the Thanksgiving and Christmas and Super Bowl party and New Year's? Because we have a certain meal. We have the same meal at Thanksgiving and Christmas, but New Year's we have a different meal. And then on Valentine's Day, I prepare a different meal for my husband and myself. So there are some things related to that. And I know for people that celebrate Hanukkah, there's some cultural foods that they have to celebrate or to commemorate portions of that particular religious holiday. And I'm not sure what they are, but I know there are some things that they need to do specifically. So they might need to start picking up like kosher salt, and then they might need more cooking oils and different things like that to prepare for.
McCormick got the pepper. These are things you want to keep on the shelf, not just for today, but all the time. Have extras.
Right.
Oh, poultry seasoning. Poultry seasoning is something too that, as we're thinking about preparing our turkeys or our chicken, whichever it is that we decide to do, you want to pick that up. Now, you notice I got a little one because I know I'm going to use it Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I may use it a little bit beyond that but because I don't want this to last until next Christmas holiday, I got a smaller amount.
I
And
like that idea. Yeah, I like that idea. Now, I'll show my little stash over here in a minute, but I like the idea of getting a smaller amount so that it does last. While people are still typing in what items you keep stocking your pantry, we have a few people who answered that. And Midnight and Nailing It. Okay, wait a minute. My computer is doing funny things now. There we go. And
wow,
cool. What she told us her name was. My mind is just kind of scattered. But cream of mushroom soup, green beans, pumpkin, rice, corn. So she's got all the things that you mentioned. Right. So everything that she's got on her list are things that I have in my pantry right now. I've got several cans of pumpkin puree for pies and different things like that. I don't have enough brown sugar because I only have one bag of brown sugar, which I got the other day, and I already opened it. And you know what Granny Karma says? She says 2 is 1 and 1 is none.
That's right.
So I've already opened the one bag that I
Mhm.
have. Now I don't really have any on the pantry shelf. And
Mhm.
then I also like this onion soup mix
Yes.
and taco
Yes.
seasoning as well, and
Mhm.
salsa. And you
Mhm.
already mentioned the pasta, the
Mhm.
tomatoes, and some of the
Mhm.
other things. So you mentioned those things. She also mentioned spaghetti sauce, jam,
Mhm.
peanut butter, and then cereal. And then
Absolutely.
Carol says she likes to have pecans, nuts, flowers, sugar broth, and cornmeal. I like to keep pecans on my shelf too because we use a lot of pecans. My husband likes to have
Mhm.
pecans in his oatmeal. If
Mhm.
I have cinnamon rolls and there's pecans already on them, he's
Do
going,
you freeze yours?
hmm?
Do you freeze your pecans?
I don't because we don't keep them that long. Like if I
Oh,
buy a bag in those little Ziploc bags, we'll
oh,
use
okay.
it in, 3 or 4 months. But now
Mhm.
walnuts, I got 2 bags of walnuts in the freezer because we don't
Mhm.
eat those quick enough. You
Mhm.
want to tell why we need to freeze those?
Well, you freeze them because you know that nuts have oils, and
Mhm.
oils will go rancid. And so if you keep them in your freezer, you can just pull out what you need, put them back, put the bag back in your freezer, and it keeps your nuts fresher longer. So you get
Absolutely.
your money's worth.
So Errol's Errol's Puff says
Mhm.
she likes to stock up on vanilla.
Yes.
And then Vicky's going to be stocking up on butter and vanilla,
Mhm.
and then some of the other spices that you mentioned, as well as
Mhm.
self-rising flour. I don't
That's
like
for
flour.
biscuits. Get those
Oh yeah,
biscuits
we're gonna get
ready.
that
Oh yeah.
biscuits. And then Felicia likes to stock up on breakfast items because when everyone's
Mm,
home, oh, that is so true. When everyone's home, you gotta feed them breakfast. And honey,
absolutely.
my well, the men in my family can eat, and they like a hearty breakfast. So yes, you want to
Oh, I
stock
didn't think
all
about
those things.
pancake mix. If you don't do it from scratch, if you don't have time to do it from scratch, you definitely want your pancake mix, your syrups, and grits, your rices, all of that.
Oh, listen now, Lenny, I was not aware of this, but she says they're saying that pecans, there may be a shortage because of the hurricane in North Carolina. Have you heard
Oh,
anything about that, Leona?
I hadn't heard that.
I suppose it makes sense. So I know
Mhm,
pecans are grown in the South. I'm not sure
mhm,
where.
mhm,
And one of my husband's friends, when he goes to the South to visit family, he always brings
mhm,
pecans back. But
mhm.
maybe that's something we need to think about. So you guys heard
Yeah.
it. Just think about it. Think about those things you're going to be needing coming up.
Mhm. Now I order mine through Priester's pecans, and you know, while you're talking, I'm gonna look to see where they're from because I think they're Alabama. Let me.
Okay. So Nita B says her pantry is stocked with everything she needs to make dishes that her family has eaten for the last year. She has ingredients for dessert, baking spices, and she makes her own vanilla. Well, I
These
don't.
are Trader Joe's. Hold on.
So I like that. Now I don't make my own vanilla, and I do have most of the things that I need, but I have been eating from my pantry, so there are some things that I need to replenish. And then Cal, my sister from another mister, says that she cleans out her spice cabinet, and oh my goodness, she found 9 jars of sage.
Oh my goodness.
Jars of sage. So Leona, that's one of the things that we were going to talk about next, which was cleaning and organizing in your spice cabinet, and you have to
Mhm.
declutter first. And so now, why do you need to clean and organize in your spice cabinet? So you know what you got and you don't end up duplicating items. Now, Cal, I
Well,
was
the question is, are they still good? Are they still good?
That's
You
a good
know,
question. You're gonna open those jars up and give them a good sniff. What do they
yeah.
smell like? They may be expired. So,
Mhm.
and when I say
Mhm.
expired, it just means they may not have enough potent power to really do any good in your meal. So what do I have an excess of? Pumpkin pie spice,
Yeah.
pumpkin pie spice,
Oh
pumpkin pie spice.
no.
I have 3 of those, and then I have some whole cloves,
Mhm.
and then more whole cloves, and then more whole cloves. Now,
Oh
I will
no.
admit though that the whole cloves are not on me; those are on my husband. he had been talking to his doctor, and his doctor had said that you can make a tea with whole cloves and oranges or something like that.
Mhm.
It's supposed to be good for your stomach. So he went to the store and bought like two big old bottles of cloves. I'm like, he had cloves in the pantry, which I'm surprised he even knew what a clove looked like. He came back with extra jars of these, so that's what I have there. But Pam, you get the record with 9 jars of sage.
Oh my
Yeah, but
goodness.
9. Ooh,
You must
yeah.
have a nice sized pantry. But that's what happens. Those jars get pushed back, or you forget that you have it. So you got to buy another one. I
Mm-hmm.
do it. Okay. If you go down to take me to Tammy's house, and
Oh,
she said Alabama is where Priesters is. That's where I thought. That's what I thought. So I love Priesters, and they are a mail order. I can just go on their site, order the pecans. They're delicious. They have a variety of different options for your pecans.
mm-hmm.
And to be honest with you, I think they're better than the store bought. But it gives you an opportunity to have a nice supply of pecans in your house.
So the little blue cottage and little blue cottage, you got to tell us your name. We like to call each other by name over here. She says there's going to be an increase in chocolate prices because of the
Mhm.
cocoa shortage in the next few weeks. She made
Huh.
sure to stock up on chocolate chips. Now, I don't know anything about a cocoa shortage in the next few weeks. However, I had heard a couple of years ago that there wasn't as much cocoa in supply as there used to be or as there needed to be. So I had started stocking up on cocoa a couple of
Mhm.
years ago. So I probably have 3 or 4 cans of cocoa in my pantry that I have not opened. But we'll have to look into this. And when we get together the next time, Leona, we can
Yeah,
address this because
I
we don't
wrote
have
that
the
down.
scientific information on that yet. So
Okay.
we'll get to that next time. We don't like to talk about stuff that we don't have the science for or that we haven't done the research. But we'll look into this little blue cottage and we'll
Mhm.
talk about that.
We will.
Uh let's see. I think I might have missed a couple.
Let's see. Danny says she likes to grab tomato sauce, and she does it because it's so versatile. You're absolutely right.
Mhm.
Tomatoes, tomato sauce, tomato paste, and I love the tubes of tomato paste even better than the jars. I mean, the cans of tomato
I'll
paste.
have to try those because you talk about those all the time. And
Mhm,
I was watching another YouTuber recently, and they talked about those tubes of tomato paste
mhm.
too. So I'm going to get one of those, and then I'll let you know what I think about that.
Okay, okay.
And then Lenny says that she keeps a log of everything in her pantries, and
Mhm.
that way she knows what she's got and the expiration date. So
Oh,
that's good as
she's
well.
way more organized than I am.
Yeah,
Way more, but
yeah,
I
that's
love
true.
it. I love
Unorganized. So then we just briefly talked about making sure that you clean and declutter that pantry.
it.
Give
Mhm.
those spices a sniff to see if they still smell potent or at least like they're supposed to. And then if not, get those things cleared out so that you can bring in what you need for the holiday season and
Mhm.
beyond and have the space to put them.
Absolutely.
Um, One of the things that we did want to talk about was money saving tips to stretch the budget. And one of the things that I want to talk about is making some things yourself. And I was telling you earlier, I made some gravy earlier today. I was working on the video and I showed how to make gravy in the video. But this gravy is so delicious and it's better than any gravy that you might get from a packet that has some kind of processed stuff in it where
Mhm.
you add this or that to it. So making your own gravy is very inexpensive. It's just fat like butter or oil,
Mhm.
some flour, and then some pan drippings or broth to make gravy. And
Absolutely.
you can have and some other spices if you choose to add those in. But it's
Mhm.
really inexpensive. And then somebody I know likes to make their own dinner rolls.
Yes, I do. That's one reason why I always have to have my flour on the shelf. And we're going to be making some dinner rolls between now and the holiday, and making some biscuits, because when you have guests at your house,
Mhm.
and you want to prepare breakfast, they love when you have homemade biscuits ready to go. And the excuse me, the nice thing about biscuits is that you can prepare them. You can actually freeze them, put
Ah,
them in your Ziploc bags, and layer them with parchment paper. That way you can take out what you need. And so much of that we can do in advance,
mhm,
so that on Thanksgiving morning, just a matter of putting it into the oven and letting them bake.
mhm.
So but those are options, but also, those are just skills that at this point we need to know.
Yes.
And it's nice to be able to go and buy brands, but it is even better when you have made the biscuits, what's in your biscuits, the quality of the materials and ingredients that you're putting into it. So homemade is so much better.
So much better. And it's also less expensive. It helps you to stay on your budget if
Mhm.
you can make those things yourself. So, in addition to biscuits and let's say your uh, dinner rolls, but also think about what you can do with some of the leftovers from whatever it is that you've made. So let's say you make turkey for dinner, then
Mhm.
you've got turkey leftovers. Of course, you got to have the turkey sandwich afterwards. I know I used to love to
Absolutely.
watch the Food Network, and they would show different things about after Thanksgiving foods.
Mhm.
And there was this one episode that they called like the Thanksgiving sandwich or something.
Yes.
There was a restaurant or some kind of
Mhm.
like a little kind of bar bistro, and
Mhm.
they had a Thanksgiving sandwich on their menu. And
Mhm.
people would say, I want that sandwich that tastes like Thanksgiving. And I always think about that because who doesn't make the sandwich with the turkey? You put a little bit of the mashed potatoes on the bread,
Absolutely.
add the gravy and the cranberry sauce. Add
Cranberry
the
sauce.
Mhm.
Oh,
I
stop,
am looking
Denise.
forward to that
Stop,
now.
stop, stop. The mouth is
Yeah, this
watering. Now, oh, good. She
girl, now
was asking.
I have to Cal about this once before. She said she made biscuits once. She said her family just rolled them down the table like marbles or something. So, Cal, I don't know what maybe you rolled them too thin or mixed them too much.
I think probably you handled them too much. And,
Hmm.
the less is best.
Yes.
And you want to make sure that they're moist,
Hmm.
nice and moist. Sometimes the recipe may say a cup and a half of, say, buttermilk.
Hmm.
And I am a proponent of buttermilk. I really believe the buttermilk is better. I have done it with cream, I've done it with regular milk, but buttermilk is the way to go. And when you place that buttermilk in, sometimes some flours are drier than others. So that cup and a half is just kind of an indicator for you,
Hmm.
but you may need to add a little extra liquid into the biscuits. And then rather than really, you don't need it. You don't have to knead the biscuits. You're just kind of bringing them in like you would a pie dough, and
Yeah.
just kind of bringing it in. And I like for mine to kind of feel almost sticky and
Yes.
almost like a baby's bottom, kind of smooth. And when you put it down, you're just patting them to get
And I
them
don't like
to
them too thin. I like them to be at least a half inch thick,
half inch,
not thick,
half
at least
inch.
a half
Yeah,
inch.
don't get them
And
in.
Cal, if you want to, one day we could get together on
Mhm,
not Zoom, but on FaceTime,
mhm.
or we could do some kind of a live stream where we could make the biscuits, Cal, because you should be able to make those biscuits for your family.
Absolutely, absolutely. Maybe we might be able to set something up so that we can tell them what they need for the biscuits, and we just all do it one
Oh,
Saturday
that's a
morning.
good idea.
That'd be a lot of
Would
fun.
you guys like that? Tell us in the comments section if you would like that. But yeah, Miss Leona is saying we could do a cook with me and we could make biscuits all together. So I think that would be kind of fun. Okay. Well, while you guys are thinking about that, I have a question for you. Um, So JC said she was sure her spices were all up to date because she had a few moves and went through them all, but time flies. Her pumpkin pie spice is 4 years past.
Oh,
No wonder her muffins didn't taste as good.
oh.
Oh my goodness. So here's what we want to ask you guys now. So um what who's duplicated pantry items or spices because they didn't know what they had? Cal, we already had your answer. And I already showed you guys my bad. So who else has duplicated spices that they need to that because they didn't know what was in there, and a little bit of decluttering would have helped them. And something to think about is the first in, first out system. So, if, like, for example, I could look at these pumpkin pie spices and look at what are the dates on them, and then the ones that are going to be having their best buy dates first, put those in the front, and the ones that are newest in the back, so that I'm using up the ones that came in last. So we would be doing that. And one other thing, which I thought was a good idea when I was doing the research to prep for the show, it talked about creating a holiday section so that you knew where your things were, like having a little section or a little basket where you had all your holiday spices or holiday things in it. And I thought, oh, I could put on my spice rack on the door. I could put all of my baking stuff like the cinnamon and nutmeg and all that like on one little shelf so I could just find it real quick. I don't know, the disorder might be a problem because you guys know, like I like all my spices to be even similar, but that makes sense though. But you could put them all in a basket. That way I wouldn't have to see them like that. And I
Right.
could grab the basket and pull out the holiday spices. I don't know. I kind of like that idea
I
somehow.
do too. I do too.
So if you guys have just joined us, I am Denise Jordan, your host, and with me is Leona Dooley, your co-host, and this is the first of our annual holiday prep shows. And today's topic is to help you prep your pantries for the holiday season without breaking the bank. And tonight's episode of Homemaking with Purpose is brought to you by Apron Diva, my online apron boutique. And Pretty and Practical, we believe that an apron can be a homemaker's best accessory. And we've got our cute little Halloween apron on special. And then here's some of our other fall items for you to take a look at.
Mine hanging up.
Oh, do you? So check us out at www.aprondiva.com. And then we also have another question for you. And where did I put it? I tried to highlight them so I wouldn't miss it. Oh, so if you like, when you're making your holiday meal, if you make candied sweet potatoes for your holiday dinner, type a 1 in the chat or in the comments section. If you do sweet potato casserole, drop us a 2. Let us know. Inquiring minds want to know. So, candied sweet potatoes, drop us a 1 in the chat or in the comments section. And if you do sweet potato casserole, drop us a 2. Hey, Stephanie from Creatively Miss Me has joined us.
Hey, Stephanie.
So she's putting in a 1. So she
All
does
right.
candied sweet potatoes. Linda does sweet potato casserole. And then Tammy does sweet potato casserole. And then Anita B and Jennifer make candied sweet potatoes. And Leona, it sounds like several people want to check us out.
Yeah.
Biscuit offers. So
okay, we'll set it up.
So maybe when we come on the next time, we can let them know when we're going to do that. Because I know we're going to be busy next week. So, but the next time we can let them know when we're going to do that.
That sounds good.
So Carol said she ran out of chili powder this week and she didn't buy more, but cleaned out the spice cabinet and found 3 jars. Oh, it's a good thing you didn't buy more.
Oh no. Oh
Yeah, that
no.
was funny.
Well, you know what McCormick did? McCormick changed their branding for their jars. They said that so many people were holding on to the spices way too long.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because of that, if you have McCormick spices that are in, and I'll go get one of the little cans, and that tells you, I guess I've had mine too long. But if you still have, this is the Kroger one, but I'm just going to show you the can.
Oh, okay.
McCormick has these little square cans,
Mm-hmm.
and they said if you have McCormick spices that are still in the squares, that you really do need to immediately check your dates, because they changed from the square can to these little round bottles. And so these are the fresher ones that you're going to get.
Oh,
And so if like if you still have, say if it's pumpkin spice or it's apple spice or whatever it
mhm.
is, and it's still in one of those little rectangular cans, that more than likely is expired,
Oh
because
my
they
goodness.
changed about 3 years ago. So they said for sure it's not, it's not going to have the best flavor.
Okay. Okay. Um, the other thing we were talking about, but I think we've already hit on it as I take a look at our notes, we were looking at the kind of diverse meals that all of us might have. Because, I kind of threw in that sweet potato uh, question just to kind of see what people like to do.
Mhm,
And Tammy says her grandma made the best candied sweet potatoes. My
mhm,
mom, my sister, they make the best ones, and I try to make their recipe. But then there are so many families that prefer sweet potato casserole. And
mhm,
then there's just other things people like. For example, if you like collard greens for your holiday dinner, drop us
mhm.
a 3. If you prefer green bean casserole, drop us a 4. And it just kind of shows how, whereas we are all going to gather around the table and
Mhm.
celebrate family and just being together and giving God thanks for what we have, for our many blessings,
Absolutely.
we each celebrate that in just a little bit different way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's really not about what's on the table. It's really about who's at the table more
Exactly.
so than anything. And so, as we're, of course we're planning, but the reason we're planning, of course, is for our family. We want to be able to show them as much love, and of course, give God all the honor and the glory for even allowing us
Yeah.
to be able to gather as a family. And so, Joy, she brought one of those cans of turkey in your grandma's can from
1970.
1978. Oh my goodness.
I'll bet you my mom probably had spices. She had this huge, like a big white, I don't know, some kind of a cabinet that she had in her
Mhm.
kitchen, and it was full of spices. And I tell you what, some of those spices were so old. She even had a few medicine bottles in there that were like 1960 something. I'm like, what?
Oh,
So mom had stuff in that pantry, in that cabinet, and didn't look at it. So yeah. So
yeah.
looks like as people are typing in 3 for collard greens and
Mhm.
4 for green bean casserole.
Yeah.
Um, so
Oh, did I do that? No, you did that. Denise? I'm not sure if Denise is still here or not, or if she's dropped me. I think she may have gone out for just a second. So guys, just let me know if which one of us you're still hearing. Okay, we got collards. Okay.
There I am. I don't know what I clicked, but you know I'm the one that can mess it up.
Could you hear me?
I couldn't hear a thing, nothing.
Oh, I was going, okay, guys, let me know if you can hear me. But anyway, we've got a lot of good responses.
What do we have?
Let's see, got quite a few threes. We've got quite a few fours.
3 is collard greens. 4 is
Mhm.
green bean casserole.
And some of the variations may be just the family's likes. Now, to be honest with you, our family does both. We do both green beans and collards, and we we like both. We're all about the vegetables, so we have to have a little bit of both.
Mhm.
But oh, Cal said her
What?
mother made gumbo.
I'm thinking that was from, again, you're in Oklahoma, but your family's from New Orleans. Is
New
that right? I'm trying to
Orleans, I
remember.
think. Yeah.
And then Kim, um, they do a sweet potato casserole, green bean casserole,
Okay.
Cal's collards.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's talking to Joy.
Okay.
Now
Okay.
we got a G here. Not sure what that is.
Sharontek Porter.
Yeah, she gave us a G. So we had 1 and 2 for sweet potatoes and sweet potato
Potatoes.
casserole, and then we had 3 and 4 for collards and oh, maybe the G is for green bean casserole.
Green bean. Okay.
Yeah.
For
And
green
then
bean.
Charlene was a 3, Carol's a
Mhm.
4. Yeah, I'm back. And then
Okay.
we
And
got Stephanie 3.
Stephanie's is 3.
Cal does mustards too.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Tam's a 4.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, mustard greens are delicious. Do you mix your greens, Vicky? I know a lot of southern true southern ladies have collards, but sometimes I mix my greens. Thank you, Carol, for letting us know that you can hear both of us now. We were a little shaky for a while.
Well, I don't know what I did. You guys know if something can happen to mess up the stream, I can find a way to do it. And somehow I clicked something trying to click on one of the responses, and everybody was just gone. And I'm like, wait, what happened? Well, and now speaking of, I have to share with you guys a joke. Some of you guys may have seen this. So I was going through my comments today, answering questions, and one lady said, she said, I had to scream when I saw you trying to figure out how to turn the live stream off. She says, you gotta love our senior citizens.
Oh,
I did not realize. So here I am. I'm trying to figure out how to shut it off, right?
mhm.
I'm like, now how you turn this off? Where's the button? I didn't realize all this was being recorded. So me doing all this, trying to figure out now what, and my face was probably all up, all like, oh my goodness. I didn't realize that was on screen. So if I can figure out how to go in and edit that out, I will. But she just had to laugh. And I'm like, oh my goodness, how embarrassing.
Oh. Well, the good thing is we're all family,
Yes.
and we're all working, trying to get it
Mhm.
done.
Yep.
Wow,
Yep.
we just we look over that.
All right. Now, one of the things, though, that I did want us to talk about as we talk
Mhm.
about a way budget friendly options for the upcoming holiday, I really want to talk about, to encourage our viewers that may be on a limited budget to
Mhm.
consider free options if they can find them.
Mhm.
And I know sometimes many of us may have too much pride to consider going to a food pantry, but you know what? If you can get access to free options like a free turkey or something like that, then try to take advantage of that. Now, I do know that there are some stores, like I think it is ShopRite.
Mm-hmm.
If you spend about $400 in the weeks leading up to Thanksgiving, you can
Mm-hmm.
earn enough points to get a free turkey.
Okay.
And
And you have Food Lion. Food Lion does that also through the month of November. You
okay,
each week, I think you have to spend at least $40
hmm
and then you get a coupon for a free turkey.
okay, and that's
Mm-hmm.
pretty good. The
Mm-hmm.
other thing is that many times churches and community food banks will give out free turkeys at Thanksgiving time.
Mm-hmm.
Take advantage of that if you need it.
Yes.
I'm
And
going
don't wait
to
until the last minute
take
because
advantage of that if you need it. And you said what?
don't wait until the last minute because so many of the locations you have to sign up so that the church, particularly churches, so that they will know how many turkeys that they need. And
Mhm.
I know our church usually has some type of sign up, or we'll connect with the county, and they will actually send us people to our locations because they have a certain number, and they figure if they can find enough churches that are also offering turkeys and boxes, then that gives an opportunity to serve more people. So certainly get on somebody's list. If you need help, it's okay. It's
And I
okay.
think it's Walmart that's partnered with the Salvation Army. They
Hmm.
are giving them some food items as well. Now, Salvation Army, I do believe, will host a Thanksgiving dinner
They do.
every
Hmm.
year. But
Uh-huh.
they also have a food pantry where they will give items to the people that are in need. So,
Hmm.
as you say, though, you might need to sign up. So,
Hmm.
do take advantage of that. And then I do know, like in our area, the Township Trustee's Office also will have items available. And so you just need to contact the office to find out what resources they have and how you can tap into some of those. And then let's talk a little bit about how family members can provide support if they have a family member that's food insecure.
Absolutely. Now's the time as you're going through your pantry, now's the time to think about those who may be in your family who may not be as fortunate as you. And
Mhm,
it may be that you can put a box together for them. I know what I like to do. I usually have, if it's a particular family, I will actually have them for dinner on the holiday.
mhm,
Then when it's time to go home, I have a box for them to put in the car. So they have canned goods, they may have cereal, peanut butter, all those kind of staple types of items that will be able to take them. And if they have children, some children's items to go with it as well. So that gives you an opportunity to be able to help supply them. If you can afford to pay for your turkey, and you have a situation where you have a store that
mhm.
actually gives you a turkey and you end up with a second turkey, then that gives you a chance to be able to bless somebody else.
Let someone else.
So, I can certainly say that when you are able to bless someone else, those blessings come right back to you in other ways. And so that's really, what the holidays and what
Mhm.
family's all about, to be able to try to bless as many people as we can. And also, if you're younger homemakers, you have a young homemaker in your family. It's funny, my granddaughter was here the other day and she was asking about her cookbook that I'm going to send with her when she goes to college. And so I started laughing. And so I said, okay, your notebook will be ready. But she helps with the cooking at the holiday. And so I told her, I said, well, I said, the good thing is that you're in the kitchen with us. So you're learning now what to do in order to prepare whatever it is. But for those that aren't able to be in your kitchen, then certainly I know we've talked about the fact that we have to go containers to be able
Mm-hmm.
to send things home, at the end of dinner, because you usually have some leftovers,
Oh
and
goodness,
send
yes.
those leftovers home with someone who when tomorrow comes, they may not have anything to eat.
Mm-hmm.
So send it somewhere, or send it to someone who's sick and shut in, who is unable to cook.
And
And
during COVID, when you couldn't gather, that
mhm,
was what we did. I went ahead and I made the usual Thanksgiving dinner. And
mhm,
then me and my sister, Mickey Blue Skies, we
mhm,
dropped off um, meals at the different family members that couldn't get out or that couldn't join us that normally
mhm,
would have. And
mhm,
we can still do that now,
mhm,
even though we're not in a lockdown situation. So, yeah, that's something to think about. And then also with Walmart, when I was going through their app, looking
mhm,
at their holiday dinner for like
mhm,
under $50,
mhm.
you can order that and send it as a gift, because right
Absolutely.
before you check out, it'll say, "Is this a gift?" So you
Mhm,
can order that complete Thanksgiving dinner for someone who maybe they can't afford to pay for that dinner
mhm,
themselves.
mhm.
So there's that.
That's fun to do, and it's fun to do, to be able to pick it up and to take it to someone. You know,
You want to address Cal here?
she won a free turkey. Oh no! Oh yes! I'm thankful you won it, but had to turn it down. Oh wow, Cal. That happens. I have to admit, if I had won a free turkey today, I wouldn't have room for it in my freezer, and that's just because the freezer's stocked. But she said the next time she'll take the turkey.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can donate it, or you can give it to a family member, friend, or a neighbor. And
Mm-hmm.
I had a situation like that. Many of you know that on Wednesdays we work at a homeless. I work serving the homeless, and so that particular day they had ordered frozen chicken, and they ordered what they thought was going to be a certain amount. Or when it came, there was so much chicken they didn't even have enough room for it in their freezers.
Mm-hmm.
And so they sent all of us home with all this chicken. Well, we had a family that lived close to us who had about 4 children, and didn't just kind of look like they might have been just making it from one week to the next.
Mm-hmm.
And so I took the chicken to them. It
Ah,
never came in the house. I went straight to their house, and I asked them, would they mind? I told them, where it came from, and that it was fresh, and that, but I just wanted to be able to bless them today with some chicken to put in their freezer.
mm-hmm.
And so she was very thankful. And I told her, I said, I know you have kids. So, sometimes those are opportunities for
Yeah.
us. And Carol, you're right, praying for those affected by the hurricane. Yeah, holidays are going to be tough for
It's
a
gonna be,
lot of people.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't say that lightly. I think you're absolutely right. It's going to be tough for a lot of people because we have
Mhm,
millions that have been affected by that, and
mhm.
things aren't right, going to be right for a while. So Kim said she copied recipe cards, all the family. Oh, what a nice idea.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's a
that's
great
great.
idea.
Hmm. I like that. I like that.
Oh, now look what David said. Now, hey, we got a new person here. Hi, David. All you ladies that are on that's normally here, let's welcome David to our group.
Yay.
David says before the holidays, he has a beans and greens dinner party for his friends. Beans,
Oh,
bread, and tea. Attendees bring canned food or make cash donations, which they then pass along. What
oh, that's nice.
idea? I love that, David. Such a nice idea.
That is. That is.
And then Paperboy says it's also good to get your children involved in helping others around the holidays. Now,
Mm-hmm.
when my grandchildren come, especially my two oldest one, when they
Mm-hmm.
used to come and they were smaller, I would take them to the food bank, and
Mm-hmm.
we would spend like 2 to 4 hours there one afternoon. So they got to see what it was like and see people who were there because they needed to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they're in college and, they don't come as often. They, they don't want to come and stay for a week with grandma anymore. So, but my two younger ones, though, I'll have to take them over there the next time they're here too, because they do enjoy that.
They do. They do.
So Stephanie, my goodness, she says 1 year her kids they won 5 turkeys and she gave 4 to the church. They were
Hmm.
giving turkey dinners to families that needed them. So
Oh,
yeah, that's
that's
a great
nice.
idea. That's a great idea.
What did David say? David's saying something.
Oh, thanks, Kim Rules Life. We've had some good success. Plus, it helps keep our group grounded. Yes, I just love
Mm-hmm.
that idea.
And now's a good time to even go through your closets. I know I'm thinking of this only because we talked about it coming home today. So many of the people who came in today did not have jackets, and it was quite cool today. And so all of us were talking about we need to go home, go through our closet, and purge. But coats and jackets and sweatshirts, sweaters are things too that if you can pull them out, take them to your locations so that and now they even have at many of the grocery stores where they have the large containers that say clothing and shoes,
Mhm.
and you can put them in there and they will make sure that families who are in need will receive those.
Yeah,
Oh, Mary. She
he's
loves
right.
cranberries too.
Yeah.
Yep, I do too.
For those people who have just joined us, let me just say once again, welcome to Homemaking with Purpose. I am Denise Jordan, your host, and with me is Leona Dooley, my co-host. And this is the first of our annual holiday prep shows. We do at least 3 more to get ready for the holiday season. And today's topic, we're talking about how to help prep your pantry for the holiday season without breaking the bank. And then also, this episode is brought to you by Apron Diva, my online apron boutique. We encourage you to shop our aprons. Our holiday ones are in style, or rather, is on sale. So, okay, I have 3 questions that we got, and one of them I had 4, but one of them we've already done. Let me get that comment. Okay. We already did the one. And if you guys have questions, drop them in the comment section. But the first one I had was from Vicky, and we already answered her question about the longshoreman strike. So we took care of that one. But the next question is from Jen Pink. And she said she read something about Aldi offering a full Thanksgiving dinner for less than the same price at Walmart. And had we seen that? And yes,
Yes.
you know, to mention that earlier. You want to talk about it again?
Yes, I actually I called Walmart just before we got started just to make sure, and called Aldi's as well. Aldi's deal is $47. And let's see, I wrote it down. It feeds 10 people. It's $4.70 per person. You get a turkey, gravy, rolls, macaroni and cheese, and stuffing for your $47, which is a great price. And their turkeys are usually a nice size. Now, Walmart had various packages, but the $50 package is the one that you definitely get the turkey, and then you get to choose whatever sides that you want to go within your, they call it a Thanksgiving meal bundle.
Mm-hmm.
And so you get to set up your bundle. For those of you who like Publix or you have Publix close, Publix is a little pricier, but Publix had
It's
their.
like Kroger.
I didn't get to talk. I didn't get to call Kroger, but
I'm saying
Publix,
Publix is like Kroger.
right,
Yeah.
similar, very
Mhm.
similar. And but theirs was $69,
Oh.
and but they gave you more items.
Mm-hmm.
You had the turkey, the dressing, the gravy. You had what they call a marshmallow delight. I'm assuming that's kind of like a.
Sweet potato casserole, and they put marshmallows on top of it.
Oh, okay, okay. Then they had your cranberry sauce and rolls.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it was $69. But their turkey was actually larger than Aldi's or Walmart. So you know, it's what you're paying for what you get.
Well, you
But
know, Kroger had a holiday bundle as well. You can order your holiday meal at Kroger, but
hmm
when you look at their holiday meal site, it starts
hmm
at $150. And then you can customize it by taking things off or
okay.
adding things in.
hmm
And some of they have everything though. Like they have the
hmm
onions and all the things you would need to make the meal with. Whereas
okay.
some of those things, like the onions, the celery, the
hmm
carrots, we would already have
hmm
in our
hmm
in our Four Corners pantry, so we wouldn't need to buy those.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, think about this too, guys. While you're prepping now, as you're purchasing your celery, your carrots, your onions, start prepping. I purchased 2 bags from Aldi's of onions the other day. I've already diced them. They are in the little quart-size Ziploc bags, and they're in the freezer. That's the reason why I don't have room. We were talking about the turkey, and I did the same with celery as well as with carrots, so that when I need those to pull them out for holiday cooking, they're already ready to go. So that's something to keep in mind, because that's going to help to save you time, if you're the one doing the cooking. And also think about sharing that task with some of your family members, because that's also a money saver for you.
Hmm.
So, and that's something we'll get into more detail with as we go
Yeah.
along.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm,
And the other thing was Walmart is trying to go back to their 2023
mhm,
Thanksgiving prices. They're really trying to keep things down. So they're trying to
mhm.
inflation proof your holiday budget. So they're really trying to work to see what they can do to help us put that Thanksgiving meal on the table at a reduced price. So
Mhm.
keep in mind, as Miss Leona said earlier, you want to make sure that as you think about Thanksgiving dinner, don't forget about Christmas dinner and the Super Bowl party and New Year's,
Mhm.
or that kind of thing, so that while things are at the best prices and the time leading up to Thanksgiving, almost all the canned goods and all kinds of stuff will be on
Mhm.
sale. And they don't go back on sale this low until next Thanksgiving.
That's right.
So now's the time to stock up on things if you can.
Mhm.
And, to think about that, if you have a family member who is food insecure, this hair is just bugging me tonight. You want to make sure that, you know, help them out. See what you can offer them
Mhm.
as well.
And Walmart's inflation busting prices are going to run through December 25th. So, if you can if you usually have black eyed peas, try to get them before the 25th. Plus, Walmart's going to be closed for Thanksgiving. So don't wait till the last minute. They're going to close again on Thanksgiving Day. And of course, they're closed
Oh,
on Christmas. So keep that in mind as well, to go ahead and
okay.
do your shopping.
All right. Leona, was there something else we wanted to address, or did we?
Um, let's see. You did talk about your apron, your cute little jack-o'-lantern apron,
I
the one I
did.
have. Okay.
While you're
Oh,
looking at the notes to see, people, if let us know what is your. Oh, we have one more question. Okay, so go ahead.
here. Oh, okay. Here's the one from Sierra,
Oh, okay.
and about she said it
There
was a
you go.
little.
There she is.
You got it. Oh yeah, holiday special, planning a cross country move, and it's going to be the first Thanksgiving without family. Wow, Sierra, I have been there. I have been there, and that's a tough. It's a tough one, because when you're used to a large family and all the gathering and all of that, then it is going to be a much quieter.
Hmm.
But it's an opportunity for you to do something special for your immediate family. And it's a good time for a good Zoom call or a FaceTime. And we even did dinner by way of FaceTime, so
Oh,
that while dinner, we said the blessing together. So those who were in my case, in Kentucky, we had them on FaceTime. So when it was time to say the blessing, we all said the blessing at the same time, and then everybody, went their various ways. But it we just needed that connection for a minute. And so if that's something you're considering, then, or something that you're doing, then that's a chance for you to be able to bring your family into your home. So just keep that in mind. We have the advantage of technology, so
yes.
there's no reason for you to really feel alone,
I
even though you will,
The other thing
you're
too,
gonna
though,
feel alone.
is
But
this is an opportunity to create a new tradition for
absolutely,
your family as well. So
absolutely.
maybe it's something new that you start, and when you do make your move, you will have found some new friends
Mm-hmm.
in the area that you moved to. So maybe you might invite another family over uh, for
And
dinner or
that's dinner.
something like
Yeah.
that. Just so you've got a little bit more noise and quiet. Because I
Mhm.
know it is tough. I know when COVID happened and we
Oh,
couldn't gather that first Thanksgiving, I tell you, I had a meltdown a couple of times
I
because
did
like,
too.
because we couldn't get together
Hmm.
to celebrate together. And I remember my niece and her, it was this Christmas time. And so my niece and her family with my sister, they came over to pick up their gifts, to drop their gifts off, and then they were going to go. And I was like, "You're not staying for dinner?" And my sister's like, "No, we're not staying for dinner. You know we should stay for dinner." I'm like, "I'm not going to have anybody." My niece was like, "Oh, Aunt Denise." I was a mess.
I know. I
Oh,
know.
I'll handle it.
I
So
know.
it can be tough. So Sierra, it can be tough, but it's the opportunity to create new traditions and
Mm-hmm.
um and as Leona said, to also use technology to help bring those in close that you need to connect with.
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah, I think that's all of the questions we had. Let's come back over to
Thank you, David. We appreciate that. He's
what did
he
you say? I can't I can
he said we had 70 watching right now, but only 63 likes. So he wanted to show
oh
love. Thank you. Thank you.
yeah, because
So
we
keep
can't
in
see
mind.
that.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Oh, yeah. JC said to be sure to save and freeze the broth so that we can use it for making gravy.
Yes.
Hmm.
Well, that was what I made this gravy with. So I made a turkey breast yesterday,
Hmm.
delicious turkey breast, if I do say so myself. And I made it in a crock pot. So you have to see the video.
Oh, yeah.
I made it in a crock pot. It was delicious. But I used the drippings off of that, because I had about 2 or 3 cups of
Hmm.
broth off of that
Hmm.
to, and I made the gravy with that. So yeah.
Hmm.
Let's see, anything else?
Well, Cal Sherry, well, you see that they say the grace and the blessing together for the holidays. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So Linda says, glad to like both. Oh, gotta like both channels.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, I think the next time we're going to be on your channel. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm going to come in through YouTube.
Right.
So
So the
I
next
don't
time we'll
know.
be on her channel, but we'll
Mhm,
be able to.
mhm.
We'll see. We'll figure it out.
We'll see how it works out. It'll be the first time for us to be able to um, have both of us on screen through YouTube live. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It'll be something different. So don't panic if we have a moment, but it's something new that we're trying. And we just, we have to work through the newness of the technology.
Definitely. Definitely. Okay. Well, I think we have covered just about everything.
I
We
think
Were
we
there
have.
any other questions from you guys? Because I answered the ones that people posted some questions on our community tab, and so I brought those over. And I looked just before we went live, and so I didn't see any others. Do any of you guys have any other questions?
Or also, if you have some suggestions of some things that you'd like for us to talk about over the next couple of shows, let us know. Let us know because we're getting ready for the holidays, so we're going to talk a little bit about not only preparation for food, but we're going to cook those biscuits one Saturday morning,
Mhm.
and I'm trying to gear some of the upcoming videos and uploads to some of the holiday preps.
Mhm.
So keep a look for that. I know Miss Denise is doing that also.
Mhm.
We're cooking some of our holiday fun items
Mhm.
for you so that you'll have those as well to look back on should you need it. Now, I'm looking at some of the cooks that we have here, like Vicky. I know Vicky last year had a huge number of people for the holiday. I remember that
Ah,
because
yeah.
they had a huge family function for the holiday. So I know she's used to prepping and getting ready. But some of the people who are coming into our feed may not be as um, practiced as some others. So this is an opportunity. And I think one thing too, that if we hope to be able to empower you, for those of you who are new to preparing a holiday meal or any meal for your family. It can be a Sunday meal.
Mhm.
And but if we want to be able to empower you to give you suggestions, not just for that special meal, but also for your meals every day.
Okay. Leona, one thing I did happen to notice in our notes that we did not mention was alternatives to turkey. So let's say your budget is really limited and you
Mhm,
can't find one of those free turkeys and you want to really, stick within your budget.
mhm.
One of the alternatives I think that I would suggest is a chicken. And I
I
know that's one
agree.
of the things you're working on, is it not?
I am so glad you mentioned that, Miss Denise, because I have a video coming out Saturday that is going to be on preparing a roasting hen, and
Mhm.
it's a nice roasting hen so that you can prepare it for the holiday or prepare it for whatever your special occasion
Sunday
is,
dinner.
our Sunday dinner, just in case you can't are unable to get a turkey, then you have a chicken in place. But it's certain, or if you have a small family, you may opt to do, or you're by yourself, you may opt to do a chicken rather than a turkey.
Mhm.
So it will give you some ideas as well as dressing along the way. So that's
Exactly. And
coming out
chickens,
on Saturday.
even though they might be $1.99 a pound, they're smaller.
Mhm.
You can get a 5-pound chicken for your family and for
Mhm.
$10 and you're good.
Yeah.
The other thing was you can consider a roast beef or pork, but now roast beef is not cheap. So I'm thinking
No, it's not.
roast beef.
Oh my goodness, it is outrageous. Or you
Hmm.
could do a pork loin,
Hmm.
but
That's
to serve a nice sized family, you need a pretty big one, and they are not. I think you can get a turkey for a better price than what you can get
exactly.
a pork loin.
And again, as we look at ways that you can try to streamline your budget, about
Mhm,
2 weeks before Thanksgiving,
mhm,
turkeys at Kroger anyway, and at many Meyer and many other stores like that will go
mhm.
down in price.
All these two, I know
So
will.
somewhere around 99 cents a pound to
Mhm,
$1.09 a pound. And Meyer will often have them as low as 69 or 79 cents a pound. Now
mhm.
Meyer is not close, but I just might have to have my husband drive me out there just to get that turkey
Yeah,
at that
and get two
yeah,
while you're getting it. If you get it at that price, try to
get
squeeze things into the freezer because that's what I'm going to do, and pick up two, one for Thanksgiving, one for Christmas.
so there's that. And then also we talked about doing a deep dive into your pantry prep or organization.
Mhm,
And then one of the things that we do want you guys to check out is my and Miss Leona's 20 item capsule grocery haul, because
mhm,
these things now our capsule grocery hauls, blah, 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 our capsule grocery haul is a little bit different, but
mhm,
it is also similar but
Mhm.
they are different. And so I will link those in the description box. They're not in there yet, but as soon as we close out, I'll put those links in there so that
Mhm.
you can check those out. And then also, I want to invite you to sign up for my newsletter, the Homemaker's Journal. It goes out once a month, and our subscribers find it useful. And if you're not on my list, I'll put that link in the description box. And then Miss Leona also has a wonderful newsletter. And if you want to sign up for that, you just need to email her at themrsdooley@gmail.com for her newsletter.
Mhm.
And I think that was all, right?
I think so. I think so. Oh, you know what? One thing that we didn't talk about is, and something that we need that I know I pulled out, especially now
Okay.
is the time to be looking
Oh,
for your thermometers.
mm-hmm.
If you're going to cook a chicken or a turkey or a roast or whatever it is, you need to have a thermometer. This one I got at Kroger's.
Those
Got it.
little pop-up things in the turkey, you
They
cannot
don't
use
use
them.
that. Don't use that because that's not a guarantee. Get a thermometer. And, so this is one, like I said, I got it at Kroger's. And this is one that I actually got on Amazon, and I think it was less than $10, maybe $7 or $8.
Mhm,
But it works. I use it for my turkeys. I use it for my any type of meat, but I
mhm.
also use it for bread when I'm baking bread.
Oh,
And when I'm doing a boule, that way I can make sure that it's done on the inside. So it gives you an opportunity, and it's something that you have in your kitchen, and you'll find that you'll use it because you have it. So, now's the time. If you have a few dollars, you can certainly pick up one very reasonable at this point.
yes. All right. So Eunice said, thanks for the capsule grocery list. She's going to check it out. She winds up going up and down the aisle and forgetting things. So, no, the thing about our capsule grocery list is this. If you have the items on that capsule grocery list, you can make a meal from anything on your shelf. You don't
Mhm.
have a lot of stuff and you can't do anything with it. So do check that out. And hmm, Italian milk nougat.
Huh.
Sounds good.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
Oh, holiday baking. Love it, love it,
Ooh.
love it.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna have to look that up. Wow.
Granville likes an instant read thermometer. I like them to
Mhm,
go pretty quick too. And
mhm.
we got people here from Wisconsin, and we're about to wrap up, so you'll have to catch the replay for that. And
Uh-huh.
then, Carol, you are quite welcome. We love doing this. We love getting together, as you can tell. We were on the phone the other day, well, the iPad, doing FaceTime for 2.5 hours. My husband was like, what are you talking for all this time? We were just chatting away. Yes, we enjoy doing the show with you guys as well. It's a lot of fun. And between the two of us, what I don't think of, she does. So we try to bring you all the information that you need to care for your family and to care for your family well.
Mhm.
So, Leona, I don't have anything else.
I don't think so. I'm looking. I'm looking. Um, and during the next show, we'll talk about those vegetarian options because I know you have this on here, but we're short of time at this point. But we'll talk about that and to give some options for those who want to go more vegetarian.
Okay, I'm sure you can do that.
Absolutely.
All right, folks. So thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. Do check out both of our channels. I'm going to put all that information in the description box as soon as we hang up. And we'll see you next week.
This
Bye.
was fun. Bye
Now
bye.
you stay right there while I close out.